going to be an experiment. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I don't really have a separate mic set up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack some of my eBay orders, and it's going to be a little different than most times because I got to cover any private information. So this may take a little bit longer than I'm used to. So let me know how you found out about this live. I'm going to be really interested to see if there's any kind of an announcement or if it gets put in suggested videos. And if the audio quality is inconsistent, it's because I'm moving around and I'm not talking directly into the camera. But I think this one will be a lot of fun. So keep watching. So in case you don't know, I make videos about how you can save time and money when you stay home to shop. But that also means that I get a lot of deals and discounts. And for the items that I'm not going to use, I do sell items. I sell items on eBay and also on Mercari. These are all eBay orders. Let me know how many of you use eBay. I would really like to get kind of a idea of what the overlap is. And hopefully I can tie the two together because either one of them is like a full-time commitment. And I obviously want to do the most good that I can, whether it's making video content or selling stuff at a value price, a discount. Okay, so these are actually little eggs that I sometimes put with certain items, and it's a card, and it says 5-star valued customer on one side. And this is actually paper stock I don't even pay for because it's used like as a cover for label packs that I get. So I don't even pay for the paper. I pay for the ink, I pay for the candy, and the eggs come in multi-packs, and I bought a lot of those multi-packs for $0.01 each. However, when I calculate out the cost, each of these is 2 cents. So I pay 2 cents for these customer thank you gifts. But people seem to like them. And so the first ones I'm going to send out, let's see. I think I've got some stuff over here. I'm just going to reach around. Okay, so yeah, so we're good. So this one is going to go out. My scale also will fluctuate, and you might notice that as I'm doing this. So I have to get a picture of each item that I'm sending just for my own records. And I've gone ahead and put the mailers together, but I've covered up their information. So I also give what's going where. So on the back of my packing slips, this is what I put for my customer feedback 100% video. If you haven't seen it, I think it's a pretty good tutorial, especially for new folks who might want to sell some things on eBay or maybe just improve your scores. So I'm covering this up, but I'm actually going to write thank you on the top of each of these packing slips. I always do a handwritten thank you. And I do think that helps with positive feedback. Right now, I don't see anybody in the chat. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go like this. Oh, I guess I can't like my own live feed. So I'm going to pack this up. This is an eBay order. I'm having to do this a little differently to cover up all the customer information. And so this does not usually take quite this time amount, but it's going to take however long it takes. And I've got plenty of time to get these to the post office. So okay, so I think people may be coming in and out of this. Since I haven't done lives in the past, I think they're probably wondering, what is this guy doing? Well, I'm wrapping my eBay orders. And I do think that is probably one of the most important parts of the process. I understand that most people don't put a lot of effort into wrapping their order by the point they get the sale to go through. I think that too many times it's easy to think, okay, home run, we're done, on to the next one. And I also think that this is going to be the first and lasting impression that the buyer has. So I do try to put a little more work into making it a nice presentation. This is actually enough to ship securely with one piece of bubble wrap. However, I have just gotten into the pattern of putting another one on. And yes, that increases my supply costs. So it's not for nothing. It cost me 6.6 cents per bubble wrap sheet. So I'm adding 6 cents to my supply cost, but that's not a big deal. I just am pointing that out for people who, again, are using this as a tutorial on maybe ways you want to think about wrapping your items. I'm not going to tell anybody how to run their business. But if I double wrap something, it does add to the cost. And that is fine. Okay, so this is all secure. Again, my scale will fluctuate and vary a little bit. Did you know that with UPS, excuse me, with the Postal Service Ground Advantage, if you can stay under 4 ounces, it's one price. Then if it's under 8 ounces, it's another price. Then if it's under 12 ounces, it's another price. So I do try to keep these lightweight. And this is the brag sheet that I use. I've already shown this in my positive feedback video. I just wanted to let you know what that is. I got to find the packing slips I just signed. And it's going to show address labels. So unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to show this to you guys. But what I do is I have a sample. Let me find a sample packing slip. I'm sure I've got a sample. And actually, maybe that's what I can do is use my sample and you'll see kind of the full effect. Oh, I know exactly where the sample is, and I don't even know if I want to use it. Well, in the interest of live entertainment, I suppose we will use the sample. Okay, so this is a good example. So what I do is I'm going to actually fold this in half so that the buyer always sees positive feedback 3 times across the top. Handwritten thank you. This is just a sample, not the one I'm using. Fold it in half, and then I'm going to rubber band this around the item. Now, one thing I have noticed, or excuse me, one thing I've started doing is on, I can actually show you this. Okay, on the packing slips, there's a way to have a picture of the item with the description. So when I pull it, I don't make as many mistakes or get these mixed up when I'm sending them out. So this is actually, I really like this feature. I just found out about it. I'm working on a video that talks about how to ship stuff on eBay because so much has changed and all the videos that I've watched seem a little bit outdated. But much like it does to actually do it or learn it. So that one will take me a little while. I did put out a video about the U.S. Postal Service switching to Ground Advantage, and I'm glad that I did. I don't know that it made it to the right audience, though. But maybe that's you if you're watching me get my orders ready to ship. Okay, so first thing I always want them to see is thank you in my sloppy handwriting. So I'm going to insert it kind of upside down. So that would be the first thing the person would see. And I can actually weigh these. I can weigh these without showing the address label. There is a way I can do that. So I just use these self-sealed poly mailers, and I'm just going to let that do its magic. And so underneath, I've already pre-labeled the bag. Okay, so we're definitely under 8 ounces, which is perfect. So that is one order. We are done and ready to move on to the next one. Then once I have my orders ready, I usually have a bag set aside or a box. And let me see what I can find. And I am back. Okay, so I'm going to use my big oversized eBay bag. This is going to be way too big, but that's okay because I'll know where to find that. It's just going to be off to the side here. Again, sorry if this pace is not all that speedy because I'm doing this to demonstrate, and then I have to make sure I don't show any private information. Let me just take a little peek and make sure I've got the label on there that I need, and I do. And this is my sample packing slip. So I will again use 2 sheets of bubble wrap because I just feel like it's worth the extra 6 cents if it's going to make sure that the item gets there in good condition. And I haven't really had issues with these arriving damaged at all with 1 sheet of bubble wrap. And this is actually a thicker bubble wrap than what I've used in the past. I've always gone for the very lightest weight, but they had this at Sam's Club, and it is more expensive than what I've used in the past, but it was just there, and I could just buy 1 roll instead of 2 or more, so that worked out perfect for me. I made a short video saying how many bubbles are there, and I actually did figure out the answer, but nobody commented. So if you find that video, let's see if there are some comments, because I will put the correct answer if somebody wants to comment. And I'm also I'm gonna explain all my little quirks as I do this. So these are label scraps. As I trim down the labels to fit on the mailers, I save the scraps because I just use these like little pieces of paper tape. So again, if I'm spending an extra 6 cents in bubble wrap, I'm saving some money on tape. And at the end of the year, my accountant adds it all up and lets me know how good or how not good of a job I did. But obviously, we at least need to cover our cost of doing things. And that has definitely been a little more challenging this year. Let me know if you're noticing that the price of everything has gone up, because I was concerned that that was going to really affect things with shipping prices. But with Ground Advantage, it doesn't seem like it seems like it's possible to ship things for an affordable rate still. But it's not across the board, which is kind of interesting. If I had to go back and remake that other video, I probably would have made it a little bit more nuanced, just because there's no, yes, you'll always save money shipping that way, or no, there's always a better or lower price option. It really does vary. It makes a difference based on size and weight. So I double checked we've got the correct address. I'm going to take our brag sheet. I'm going to fold it in half again with the handwritten thank you showing, and I'm going to put it around here. This is actually good practice for me so I don't skip steps. Believe it or not, I mean, sometimes I just get interrupted and I have to go Let me see if I can get a, you can't see any of that, right? Here, I'll put it like this. You see if I can get a little light on us. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of covering up all the private information, because once it's out on the internet, it's out on the internet, and I would not want that to be my information. I don't mind for the purpose of the videos or this eBay stuff, because I do have a return address that is set up as a mailing address, so I don't have any issues there. But still, when somebody orders something online, I'm very aware and protective of their privacy. Okay, so we're gonna do a final check. We're well under 8 ounces, so we're good to go there too. Now I can peel off the concealer and put this one in the out the door bag. So again, I wonder if anybody got an announcement or anything. I'm not sure. I think on lives it does send alerts, I believe. I'm not sure. Since this is really the first time I've tried to test run things and use the equipment for this. I use this camera to do my shipping photos. I have it all set up just the way you see it here, but I haven't actually used it for a live video. But it seems like that's the most popular, convenient way to get people to watch and then ask questions. And maybe that's because people feel a little more comfortable asking questions like in a chat than they want posted online for everybody to see. I'm not quite sure. So we will figure this out as we go. Okay, so this next one is going to be a little bit challenged. So we're gonna pause on this one, but I'm just going to show you. It's this pasta server, and it's an odd shape. Fortunately, I sold one of these before, and I had a box just by chance that fit it. But unfortunately, this time I don't have that same size box, so I'm going to have to improvise. So that is going to sort of be the grand finale. Meanwhile, I want to go ahead and send out a razor that I bought at CVS, and I used a couple digital coupons that they gave me on my account, and I also, I can't talk and write at the same time apparently. Okay, that's a pretty sloppy thank you. So I used 2 digital coupons, bought 2 razors, 2 sets of razors. One's this Quattro Platinum, and it's a nice razor. I just don't have it to use it. I was afraid for a second I had some personal information, and I don't. So today is July 26th when I'm recording, and this I put up for sale on June 10th. So I double checked my digital receipt just to be sure I was not telling you inaccurate information. Oh, wow. That is definitely under 4 ounces. We will try to stay that way if we can. But this will all have to kind of get screenshotted and paired up later with the order information. Again, just for my own record keeping. Not because we expect any problems, but if there were problems, they're pretty easy to fix if I've got photos of what I actually sent the person. And I would like to hear how other people receive their eBay orders, if they're neatly packed or, you know, how other people do it. This already had a little doink, and that was shown in the listing photos. I don't really think it matters because I think the razor is going to be fine. And I'm just trying to decide how much additional packaging I want to put around this. Plus, I have to put my label on. So I'm going to have to step off to the side, but I will keep talking. That is not a problem for me. It was so funny because it looked like somebody popped in, but then they kind of popped out. And I do that with lives sometimes. And there was no pre-announcement. I wonder if maybe that's something I should think about in the future. I mean, this really is just a trial run to make sure that the technology works and I can kind of fill the time gap or whatever. Because ultimately, I would like to put more videos up. The problem is it takes a while to edit those. So if it's going to take such a long time to edit each one, it's really hard to get enough useful content up. I really have found that to be a real challenge in the past. But we are finding much smarter, better ways to do things. And I just put kind of a protective wrapping there. We're still under 4 ounces. We are doing so good. Okay. Now, with this type of a package, I do like to include something as a thank you or a free gift, but unfortunately, I don't have anything that's that lightweight. But like this, I'm going to show you. This calendar is something that I bought for a penny at Dollar General, and so I can leave that price tag on. It doesn't matter. This would make a nice gift that I would usually put inside of a package. I would just tape one of those For You cards. You saw me put the same card in that egg, and then that would be like just a free gift. It costs 1 penny. So anytime I include something extra, it's always of nominal value, which means it's not anything I paid more than $1 for, or probably even $1. So I think that would make a nice thank you, except it's going to add 2.6 ounces, which is going to put us over our limit because we can stay under 4. And let me just verify one thing. And I only need 1 second because I've got all this on the side. Okay, so whose is this? Okay, so I've got the packing slip. It's signed. I've got the label. I've got the bag. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can show you on camera, or if I have to kind of turn away for a minute, because I don't want you to think that I'm like not paying attention. I've actually got my computer screen turned up pretty large where I can see. I think that's what it's showing me. It doesn't show anybody in right now, and there really hasn't been any chat, so we'll see. And I think I'm going to leave this up for a little bit just because some of the pointers that I'm offering, like I said, a lot of the shipping videos are outdated now that I've seen. So some of the pointers I think are going to be useful for some folks, especially those who don't actually want to make a commitment to watch like an hour-long video or a 30-minute video or a 13. You can just kind of sample around on this one. That doesn't upset me at all. But I think that live videos are a different phenomenon than edited videos. And I really like to do some editing, but it's just a real time commitment. What do you guys use if you do make videos, or if you're familiar with the editing process? Let me know what software people are using. I use DaVinci Resolve, and that took a lot of learning. So I don't think I'm going to change from that, but I would love to know if there's like a more easy to use package. And YouTube has definitely made the shorts feature, the editor in the shorts feature, they've definitely made that a lot more workable. And that was really a frustration at first, because I was kind of like, okay, so I don't mind doing the shorts, but if I'm going to have to spend a lot of time, I don't want to say arguing, but a lot of time perfecting the software, because when you edit, sometimes you really have to be exactly at a certain time point, or off, one frame, or maybe there's like a big boom in the background you're trying to get out of that clip. And I've found so many times where it's like I'm spending 2 hours trying to get a short together, and I just can't do that. Okay, so this is final weight. Hold on one second, because it's got his address. So let me just pause for, I mean, I'm not going to go away. I'm just going to do that. Okay, so that's not too bad. And you won't be blocked for very long. Okay, we're good to go there. Give me just 1 second, just 1 second, just 1 second. Got to make sure I get this sealed. And on this one, I can't do this. So like on this one, I can actually put the label there. So I was just going to do that and not, like I was going to keep it covered, but that's why I'm covering, so that you don't see any address online. And if I mess up and somebody catches any of these packages with any personal information, please let me know, because I will take that content down instantly. Nothing is worth putting somebody's information out there for a demonstration video. Absolutely not. That is just our world now, and I'm aware of it. It hasn't always been that way, but that's the way it is now. Okay, so we're done with 3. We got 2 more to go. And the other one is a fun story. So this one you'll actually like, I think. I'm just going to go type a comment and see if that inspires someone. So, okay, so that's good. So actually, I did put a feature on that you have to be subscribed to leave a comment. Now you can subscribe, and that's totally fine. But I think that might have been the person who came in and out if they didn't want to become a subscriber. But it could have been like just like a bot or something. I'm not, again, really sure what to watch out for on these lives. But sometimes they start out and then they just go in a whole other direction. And I've seen other people with lives, and that's happened. And I have felt like mortified for them sometimes. Okay, so this item is going to get boxed and bagged, because it's a shirt. And I just want to kind of tell you my personal preference here. Okay, so this weight is going to be all combined. So let's just set that there for a second. So my personal preference is, and I'm actually just going to put this so I don't lose or leave it. I'm just going to put this back there. Okay. Okay, good. So my personal preference is, so this is my giveaway. eBay stickers. It comes in red, blue, and green with a little thank you card. And the reason I'm giving these eBay stickers is because the person ordered an eBay t-shirt, and I myself ordered that. I ordered it in 3 different sizes because I wasn't quite sure how it was going to fit. And it was after the eBay Open, which is kind of a seller's convention, last year. And I thought that was really awesome because they gave away swag to people who participated. And I got like the most swag you could get, apparently. So I bought, using my swag points, I got 3 t-shirts. And they're really cozy. So if you watch my other videos, I have worn this in a video. In fact, I wore it in the video about positive feedback. I also wore it in the video about U.S. Postal Service shipping, the Ground Advantage shipping. Okay, so then this is the size tag. And so I have never worn this, didn't even need to try it on, because I found one of the other size fit me quite well. But I ordered medium, large, and extra large. And I found out that I thought, well, if I don't wear the extra large, I thought I had a family member who could, but then I found out actually no, it would have to be like a 2XL, and they may have gone that large, but I didn't get that one. So, and they were really cool about it actually, the way they arrived. So I don't know how people normally like to do I'm folding this in midair. I don't know how people normally like to do their presentation, but I usually like it to either show the tags or the logo, whatever, whenever it's a graphic shirt. And if you put tissue paper in between, it does keep down the wrinkles, but I'm noticing this one is a little wrinkly. So I don't know that that's going to change much, but I'm going to try to do a little bit nicer of a finished fold here because there's no reason that it has to get stuffed in. There's plenty of room in that box. And that was one of the things I wanted to ask is if you have ordered clothing online, I would love if people would tell me what their impression is when they receive it in just a plain poly mailer. Let me show you what I mean by that. Because for me, this is a problem putting it in here and sending it directly, because I'm always concerned that if the poly mailer rips or tears, that the garment can get damaged. So I generally will not do something like that. Again, that's just me, being me. So usually if I'm going to put it, I would put more layering around that, which in this case is a box. And we're still under 12 ounces. So we're good. We're really good here. But, and actually now that I see it in the black poly mailer, it looks much better than what I had it originally in, which is this plastic bag. So I think I'm going to keep it in the black mailer. But what I was going to do originally, so this is good that I'm doing the live because I think I'm coming up with better ideas as we go. Okay, but I do need to try to skedoodle here in the next few minutes. I have this eBay tissue paper, and I thought since somebody's ordering an eBay shirt, as well as I'm giving some eBay stickers as just a little token thank you present, I thought, well, why don't I put a little bit of eBay tissue around that? And the reason I have it is because the stuff, like the swag stuff, actually did come with eBay tissue. I have not purchased eBay tissue, and it can get a little bit pricey, and it's not a requirement. Nobody has to use eBay shipping supplies, and I usually just use my own or generic. But I really want to make a video showing people how they can brand their if they have an eBay store, if they have a company, or I have a trademark, please don't use my trademark, please don't use my trademark, please don't use my trademark. Just had to get that out there. But how they could actually brand using their trademark, and then I want to make a video about that. But again, it's got to get to the correct audience. So I don't know if that is the people who get this live. So this experiment will be interesting to me. Okay, so I think that's a little bit better. I normally don't do all this, but I think this is a special one, so I'll just put a piece of tape there. I think it still may have ended up upside down, but at least that won't be too obvious. Okay, and then we're going to go right back and try to fit inside this bag now that I put the tissue on. Let's see how we do it. I have bigger bags, or I could just use a clear plastic bag still. But I mean, when I've been watching other people's shipping tutorial videos, I've seen people put like blazers, like sport coats, men's formal jackets in these things, and that's all. And I understand for the weight, that's probably what it is they're just trying to keep it under weight. But I also think, if that thing gets poked or stabbed, that's going to be a problem for somebody. And why even create that issue? I know with clothes, the margins are not all. It's like, why? Like, why even chance it? Okay, so it did go in. Now I have these labels that I use a bit. And again, if you want to talk about scrap label, this I printed on a label scrap. But I use these labels that say open with care. And because it's a label scrap, it got cut off, but that's okay. And so I will put that there. I actually like to do both sides just so nobody misses it. And so far, nobody that I can think of has ever contacted me and said, you know, they damaged. I can think of has ever contacted me and said, you know, they damaged that there was damage while opening these things. But I don't talk about my customers. So did you notice how I talked all about the shirt and how I got it and all that fun stuff without mentioning anything about the customer? Because it's really nobody's business. Whoever bought it because they wanted it, and I'm happy to send it to them. I might try a soft pack on this if I don't actually have to use a box. This is something I wasn't thinking through before because I didn't even entertain the idea. However, assuming I can find those eBay stickers, which I just did, I might just soft pack this in a larger size mailer. Yeah, I think I'll probably do that. Because the stickers will actually, I mean, I can just tuck these in and rubber band it. Yeah, okay, so I think that's how I'm going to handle this one. Packing with me is always one of those things where it does take a little while, but it's because I'm putting thought into how I would want to receive it if I had just purchased the item. Again, it's that first and lasting impression that I think is so important. I'm kind of improvising with my mailers. And I try to reuse every shipping supply that I can. I think it's environmentally the right choice, and I also think that's how I'm able to offer, sorry for the squeaks, the most competitive prices. Is that I really try to keep my packaging cost to a minimum, but not at the expense of something getting damaged. That's just too far over the line for me, especially when a lot of people who shop on eBay have probably been searching for a particular item, and maybe they found it elsewhere but not in their size or the color they wanted. And so getting something damaged, I think, is just a bad experience. So I don't want to cause that. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but I really don't want to cause it by just skimping on this. So I put another layer of bubble wrap around. So I'm going to slide that in. And I will probably seal with the address label. So I probably won't be able to show you the full final result. And I might have to just cover over the lens, but I'm still here. I have not left the room, except I had to go grab something. Oh, I had to grab the bag for all the stuff to go into. And right now, oh, we're getting close to crunch time. Just because I've got but I don't think it'll take me a while. Okay, so now we're in the bag. So now we're going to do this and just seal it up. And I might even put open with care on the outside of this so that the person knows that it's something that could get damaged if they just splashed right into it. Because, you know, how would anybody really, how would anybody know what this is? Because there's really nothing on the outside that's going to reveal what's inside. On the shipping labels, you can kind of tell, but for people who don't use eBay a whole lot, even the shipping label might not clue them in. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to do this on this side. Now, that is one thing I do enjoy about eBay is the way they have their shipping labels set. Somebody did a thumbs up, but I don't see anybody watching, so I don't know what that means. But thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. It lets me know somebody saw this. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. We are still under 8 ounces. We are so good. I was ready to pay for more by putting it in a box, but because I did this as a demo, I think I just found a way to save a little bit of money on postage. But I would pay whatever, you know, the appropriate amount is so that it doesn't get damaged, even if it's over a pound. Now that's sorry, I just had to get a little tape. That's the really cool thing about Ground Advantage is it doesn't throw it into a totally different rate class if I am over a pound. So with these shipping videos, I'm a lot less weight conscious than I have been in the past, because sometimes it was really just like trying to trim off a little bit of cardboard or something to try to stay under a pound. And my scale is not always well calibrated. Because I'm doing a live, it is on its best behavior today, but usually this will fluctuate by a few points, and these flip up. And sometimes that'll throw it off too. And then sometimes if it lands in the center or more to one side, I can't ever figure it out. But it's behaving really well today, so thank you, scale. We definitely appreciate that. Okay, so, oops, let me do one more piece of tape. Now, tape is something that I do pay for, and I do go through a bit of. Okay, so I think that's pretty good on the edge. I don't think that's going to get caught in machinery or anything. But this will be going out. And now we have Asta Pasta. Okay. I'm trying to see if anybody's watching, because if I abruptly just end, then I don't want to offend somebody. But put in your questions now, because there's a good chance I will be able to answer it right now. I'm looking for, I just want to give it a one over with a little alcohol cleansing wipe. And I'm just grabbing one from across the room. And do keep me, like, let me know how bad or how good the quality is. Because if I need to stand in one particular spot to do this, that is definitely good to know for future lives. Because there's nothing worse than like tuning in and then you can't hear the person. Okay, so this sold. And sometimes I will do like a deal of the day, or I'd call it a doorbuster. Some people would call it a loss leader. And really what that is when I'll auction an item, for example, and that's what I did here. I'll auction an item starting at $1. I usually try to get the shipping costs paid, but after half a week, if nobody has bid on it, I'll even do $1 free shipping, and that is this item. And the person who bought it, I don't have any bad will toward. I appreciate that they made the purchase, because the way I look at it is a sale is a sale. And I kind of think that eBay agrees there. I'm just going to try to trim this and make this into like a little inner box, because I don't think for postal machines, I don't think that like a triangle really does go through their system very neatly. I realize that they say that they can accommodate a lot, but I think it's better if everything's kind of rectangular. That's what I think. But let me know what your experience has been, because again, I love to find out new secrets. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how much of this or where would I actually fold this? Okay, let's look, because I did about a ruler's width, but not quite. But I think it needs more. I need to have I need to have at least this much. So I'm trying to find a way. Let me just measure it. Since I've got a ruler in my hand. That's smart. We're about 2.5 inches in. So I will just try to make another 2.5 inches. Okay, so we're 2.5 inches from here. So, okay, that's good. And this is just scrap cardboard, so if I really do mess up, it's not the worst. Things can definitely get messed up in much worse ways. Get messed up in much worse ways. Okay, so it's not quite a rectangle, but I think this will work a lot better with the mail system. And it definitely provides enough protective cushion, I think. I even think this might be even better, or okay, as opposed to a triangle. But I love learning from other people's experiences. So please let me know what your thoughts are. I think I'm going to just do it like this because it's naturally going to want to bend. Okay, so in order to secure this, I'm going to get a rubber band. And like I said, I did ship one of these previously, and I looked at, this is another reason why having shipping photos is so useful. I looked at how I had it packed, and I just happened to have the perfect size box. It was a total fluke. Okay, so that's pretty good, right? Let me just shove that down a little bit more. Okay, now that's pretty good. I just don't want it to pop out. So probably what I'll do, using my label scraps, is the first thing I'm going to do is take this. I should probably verify that I have a poly mailer to put around this, because I'm not going to send it just like this. I'll put probably some bubble wrap even, so that it doesn't have these hard, sharp edges. And I'm going to put a poly mailer around it. But the first one I'm looking at, I know will not work. This one will work. Absolutely. And I have heard mixed opinions on whether the Postal Service approves of wrapping cardboard like this. I can't really speak to an official position, but so what I'll probably do is put some bubble wrap around it, and then I'll make it half this. I'll do it like this with some tape. Let's see where we're at with weight. Oh, way under 8 ounces. We are good there. Okay, so let me do this. Let me put the packing slip around it, as well as this flyer. I'm actually at a pretty good place after I make this mail run. I'm actually at a good place to, I think I'm actually going to miss my time window for my personal errand, but that's okay. That can happen tomorrow. It would have been more convenient today, but I'm not going to rush because I've still got to finish this, and I don't want it to get damaged. Okay, so we are good to go. But yeah, I have not heard an official position if they're okay with kind of these improvised things or not. Once upon a time, I thought it was please don't go there, please don't do that. And then I kind of thought, I heard, yeah, well, as long as you can get it labeled, we can handle it. So I've kind of heard a little bit of a conflicting history, maybe. That's what we call that. This is one of those rare things that would have just been so much easier if there was a box for it. But I usually prefer, I've come to prefer the plastic bags only because environmentally boxes weigh a lot more. They cost more to send and then they weigh a lot more, which means that more jet fuel gets wasted. But I guess on Ground Advantage, it's not jet fuel, but it is still fuel. It's a natural resource. Okay, so we're good there. I believe. I think we're good. Just trying not to show any customer information, which is why you kind of hear me working in the background over here. How do I want to do this? I think I want to do it like this. And yeah, this is going to have to seal. So this is going to get sealed. So what do you think about my little weight station? Do people actually kind of keep a separate area dedicated just for shit? I am a person who does it like this. Oh, that's another thing about these deals of the day is as long as I get one daily sale with eBay, it seems to just stimulate the eBay engine to want to send me more business. So on this one, like I said, it's not really the profit that I'm after. It's the fact that it's a sale. And a sale is a sale. Okay, this is not going to be the prettiest, but at this point, there's no turning back. I mean, we're in it to win it. And I shouldn't say it's not going to be the prettiest. It'll be fine. I mean, once the person sees that I did everything I could to take good protection. Oh, by the way, this is only like 18 inches, so that's not going to trigger any oversized charge, which is awesome. I forget exactly what it's at. I know it's like, it's got to be like over 2 feet, but yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to secure this like this. We're working with some high-tech stuff here. I do have a tape gun. What I found, though, is that my tape gets jammed, and I end up wasting more than if I just do it using the roll. So some of this stuff you kind of learn along the way, but I figured out the tape gun is actually more expensive and more time-consuming because I'm constantly having to unjam it. Now, this tape might not cause that problem. I think originally I would buy, thinner tape, and I think that might be the issue. But this is actually really thick tape, and then that saves me some time and money because I don't have to do triple taping. One is pretty strong. Okay. So I think that's pretty good with just the two things there. Okay, so this is a flat surface, so I'll probably label this side, which means this is going to be the last I can show here. Except I'm going to put open with care on it. I think that's just kind of a norm for me now. Anytime something's soft packed. And thanks for taking some time to watch this. I really did not know if anybody would see it, and it looks like somebody saw it, hopefully. And like I said, I'm going to leave it up just kind of as an experiment. So you guys should be able to see this later. And since I'm working on my shipping video, I may even be able to use some of this footage so I don't have to re-record things. So that's the idea behind lives, is not to cut your package wide open the way I just cut my package. See? So I'm going to put another open with care label and let everybody know I am being serious. Do not do not cut into your package before it gets to its final destination. It's because I'm rushing and I have a pair of scissors. So I could have just skipped that part, but I'm just looking over there to see what's going on. And we've been going about an hour, so there is plenty of content for you guys to watch, especially on replay. I may have misplaced that label because now I'm looking for it, but I will find it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to get in before I end this stream, and I can't think of anything. So last call for questions. And since we do have somebody watching, I guess I'll finish wrapping this package. I got to put the label on, but I can't show that on camera. But I did get my open with care labels on the back. And I'm looking for the label. And I know exactly who the person is because I remember it. I can picture it. But I'm sort of looking around and I'm thinking it just fell somewhere. And I may have to reprint it. That is another thing that I like about eBay, is I can reprint labels. So a lot of goof proof is built into their system or their way of doing things. A lot of goof proof is built into their system or their way of doing things. And I also know I really do have to kind of adjust to their way of doing things because they're so big that they're not going to change their way just because I prefer it one way. But I do like the ability to reprint labels. I absolutely have used that feature before, and I think I'm going to use it now. So I'm going to keep talking while I go over to my computer and print. So feel free to ask questions because I'm going to be sitting right at the keyboard. And I'm just, oh, I don't think you guys can see what's on my computer screen. I really, really hope not. I really hope not. I hope that I'm the only one who can see this address label. But like I said, if I do show any personal information, please, I will get that deleted right away. What was this? This was the pasta server. And it's probably the one that I don't have saved handy. But I think, okay, let me get out of this folder. Oh, I got an alert for my live, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I do have the label I can reprint. Woo! And it's so funny because, like, in a week or two, when I'm doing something completely random, I'll run across the label and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's where I put it. But I've had to kind of put things in a way that don't reveal anybody's personal information. So I can't really use the full space that I have. But my scale has been acting really good today because it has not been fluctuating, and I'm still under 8 ounces, which I love. I love that. That is a good weight. See, I have these little slips earlier that I was using to kind of conceal addresses. Oh, you know what? I just found the label. So let's pretend like that didn't happen. So I'm gonna put the label on, but I actually I will show you something that I do with my labels without revealing any personal or identifiable stuff. I can show you this. So I have a stamp, and please don't use my trademark, but I have a stamp, and this I use every day, because what I do is on my packing slips. This is a perfect example. I just stamp the logo there, and I handwrite the thank you. So like that, this is perfect. Oh, hey, Joyride. This is so fun. This is an experiment, by the way. So I was just trying to see if anybody would get the live notification, and I just got like 5 packages ready to ship. So there's really nothing that you missed, and I plan to leave it up just so people can watch it. I've been working on a video about how I do my shipping, and so this is some of this footage may get edited in. That is a fake packing slip just for demonstration. But okay, so on the labels, there's like, it formats it perfectly where it's like a ground advantage or whatever. On US postal labels, there is a perfect amount of space at the top. Actually, I think it runs this way. This is like just a scrap. But I use my label scraps, so I do not waste. And then I just stamp that at the top. So that way, how would I do this? How would I show this? I don't think I can. But anyway, then all the address information is under there. And there's like just exactly the right amount of space for that. I had to reprint this one. So I think I can do it like this. See, that fits right there. So that is pretty cool.